Breaking news right now, an explosion in Lake County.
Propane gas tank plant Blue Rhino in Tavares went up in flames around 10:30 last night. On the right of your screen, you see the massive flames from overnight. On the left-hand side, you see live pictures from up above, seeing the damage and what's left.
When I stepped outside, flames all in the sky, smoke everywhere.
We have team coverage this morning. Good morning, I'm Aixa Diaz.
And I'm Jason Guy. 8 people were rushed to local hospitals overnight. All employees working at the plant have been accounted for this morning. Here's a look at the area that we're talking about. The Blue Rhino plant is located along County Road 448 in Tavares. And this is what the scene looks like out there this morning. Some 9 hours after the first explosion, you're seeing some of the fire that we caught overnight as those tractor trailers were burning outside the plant and the subsequent propane tanks inside those trailers that began exploding. This morning we have team coverage. West 2's Dave McDaniel joins us live. He's right outside the plant in Tavares. Dave, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is that now we are hearing that there were 8 people hurt in all this. For hours, we were told that there were 7 people, 4 of those critical. But in a briefing from the Tavares fire chief just a few moments ago, he upgraded that number to 8. We don't know how badly the 8th person was hurt, but we know that there are 4 people who were critically injured. The Blue Rhino plant basically refills those 20-pound propane bottles that we're so familiar with our barbecue grills. On this site near Tavares, 53,000 of those propane tanks are basically checked out, and the valves are checked, they're repainted, and they're filled. There are 3 90,000 bulk containers, and if we can go to Chopper 2, we can show you kind of an overall look of the scene. Those 90,000 gallon bulk containers did not catch on fire, and that's just miraculous given all the fire that was on scene. But those propane bottles, they did explode, they did catch fire. There were 2 explosions in all, and the fire chief kind of gives us this idea on what he thinks may have started it all.
We're still going to have the state fire marshal's office come in and help us with the full investigation as to the ignition and the point of origin. So we still got a lot of work to do on that side. We don't think that there was any act of sabotage or anything like that. We honestly think it was probably an equipment failure with a combination of maybe human error from one of the staff.
And of course, that's very preliminary. And of course, the fire chief from the Tavares Fire Department says that the state fire marshal will have the finer call on all of this. Of course, we had 24 to 26 people who were working the night shift. All of those people have been accounted for. 8 of them have been rushed to the hospital. But you've got people who were there, people who can maybe fill in some of the gaps. So that will be the focus of the investigation, trying to figure out exactly what started all this. But again, as bad as it is, as bad as it was, it could have been worse if it would have got to those huge tanks. The fire chief told me that in his 36 years of firefighting, this is the worst thing he's ever been on. He said they had really a plan in place. They knew how they were going to attack an issue at the Blue Rhino facility, and he says for the most part it worked pretty well, but of course they'll reevaluate that plan as well. But again, 8 people in the hospital, 4 of them critical after multiple explosions and fire at the Blue Rhino propane plant near Tavares. Reporting live in Lake County, Dave McDaniel, West 2 News on CW18.